Hello, you person internet, welcome to Kirito FM, your podcast when it comes to anime and gaming. The opinion of Senpai Kirito, aka cocousnuss. I am your host, Senpai Kirito, and our topics today are season spring and season summer of anime. Then we got gaming single player versus multiplayer. So without further ado, let's get going. So in spring, I don't know what anime I want to watch. Like, I read a few descriptions of several animes, but nothing really appealed to me, so I wouldn't recommend any anime this season. But for the summer season, I would recommend Rewind, like that's what I'm gonna watch, and Tales of Systeria. If you don't know what Tales of Systeria is, it's basically a game on PlayStation. I think most of the time, yeah. Also, Tales of Systeria was on PC, as far as I know. I don't know why the latest Tales part is getting an anime adaptation and not like older parts. I would have loved to see a Tales of Exilia anime adaptation, because I really loved those, and I just got hooked on it. I wanted to play it. I blindly bought those games. Well, the first one, and then I was so amazed that I just had to buy the second one the year after. And I also bought Tales of Systeria for my PlayStation 3, but I wasn't really hooked on the story. Like, it... How do you explain it? Like, it seemed kind of just boring to me. And then hearing it will get an anime adaptation, I don't know what they're gonna do, because Tales of Systeria compared to Tales of Exilia, for example, is more of an open world, like more open world than Tales of Exilia. RPG with, like, you have a storyline, but for example, it just feels too sluggish to have like a story in an open world game. But I'm really interested what they're gonna do with the anime adaptation. So yeah, and anime I want to like watch what I didn't watch in the earlier seasons, because I kind of had a pause on anime watching because I just didn't feel like it. I'm currently on Konosuba, which I like because I watched like 3 episodes of it and heard that a second season is coming soon-ish. I mean, if you describe Konosuba, it's just a guy who died, and basically instead of going to heaven, he got teleported to a MMORPG world where where every role is like taken from a normal RPG. But the thing is, the genre fools around with itself. For example, I can say that because it's like a mini spoiler, but you hear it in the first episodes. We have an adventurer. Usually an adventurer can do everything but like a little, but the main protagonist just can't do shit. Like, he seriously can't do shit. Then we have like a fire mage who has really powerful spells, but the person can only use it once per day, because the person uses every like mana point she has. Then we have like a tank class. She also like, she has everything you expect from a tank, like lots of hit points, lots of resistances. But the thing is, she can't hit her attacks because, I mean, it's a tank class, but also tanks attack once per while. But she can't hit shit, so she's basically just a meat shield. And then we have our like, how do you say that, like another person who also got with our protagonist at first, but she has above average abilities, but she's just too dumb to use them, which is just hilarious. Seeing you have the power but you're just too dumb to use them. So I would recommend watching Konosuba. It's really funny, although I only watched 3 episodes so far. Then what I want to watch, Erased, like I heard a lot of good stuff from it, and I want to watch Charlotte. Alright, that's about the anime part for this podcast. Let's get to the gaming. Single player versus multiplayer only games. So first of all, you know, Dark Souls 3 came out and everyone was hooked on it. But the thing with single player only games, like I recently played all of the Uncharted games on my PS3, and I remember what got me hooked on those games. Like it's just the storyline is just so good, but you may run out of content after a while because there's like a limited amount for a single player game. I mean, you can replay those games, but I got through every Uncharted on the hardest difficulty. Like I'm at the third game, like the last chapters, and let's say difficulty is an annoyance factor. Just you have the story and then you have enemies which just do more damage to you, and that's all. Hashtag difficulty. Yeah, but what do I expect from it? And comparing to multiplayer games, for example, I bought COD almost every year. Like the only COD I didn't buy was Advanced Warfare because I was just not into that boost jump thingy. I'm also a person who thinks in Call of Duty you should have your boots on the ground gameplay. Although I bought Black Ops 3, I enjoyed it, to be honest, but I stopped playing it just because those boost jumping gets annoying after a while, and that just keeps me from playing it. That's why I'm pointing to the new Infinite Warfare Call of Duty. Everyone will just buy the Legacy Edition for COD 4 because it got remastered, but you can only get it with like the Legacy Edition, what is bullshit in my opinion, because you force people to buy Infinite Warfare. And if you look at the Infinite Warfare reveal trailer, you see that the dislike ratio is like 60% of, I think, how many likes were there? I can't remember, but there are more dislikes than likes, and the likes are probably for the COD 4 remake. And people just dislike that you have to buy Legacy Edition for 80 euros just to get like that little piece you want. I think the majority of people want the remastered version of COD 4 only and not Infinite Warfare. I can understand that people want an innovative gameplay, but it just doesn't feel like COD anymore. It's also like League, for example, for me, because I started playing in Season 3 and everything was different compared to today. That's why people today love League of Legends, because they started playing it early, like not that early, but for example like 1 or 2 seasons ago. And for someone who plays like beginning of Season 3, end of Season 2, just it doesn't feel like League anymore because of the constant changes champions get and the reworks champions get. I mean, I grew up where you played AP Master Yi and one-shot everyone. with one Q and then reset everything you have. Basic abilities completely reset it, and your ultimate completely reset it. Like that was fun. It was fun. Like I don't get that anymore today. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel like League anymore. And more people ask me, oh, why don't you play the League anymore? Why don't you play with your fans anymore? It's just I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like many people I played with in the days, back in the days, don't play League anymore, or to a certain amount. It's just not what we signed up for. Like you see the accept terms of use at every patch. You have to like accept the thing, right? When you finish patching, and that's just basically Riot telling you, well, we changed the game. Here, accept to keep playing. So you can say we accepted the change, but it just isn't the game we had back then. I would love to see a nostalgia mode in League. The thing why I just said nostalgia mode is because I saw an article of Blizzard banning World of Warcraft vanilla servers, like custom servers, because many expansions back got released for World of Warcraft, and now people want to play the vanilla version, like the old version, like the OG version of the game, and then the company just deletes them and ruins the fun for OG people who just want to have the game they actually signed up for, they actually bought. Like, come on, you have to understand that. I mean, change is good in certain cases, but if there are people who want to have the game they signed up for, you should give it to them and not constantly change it. Like if we would go back to season 3, I loved playing League of Legends. I played it every day for many hours, just enjoying, and I played it into the night, and I was tired the next day because I was like, well, I love that game, I can't stop playing it. And nowadays I'm just like, I don't want to play it. That's why I moved on to many other games. For example, Rainbow Six Siege, which is also a multiplayer only game. I still like playing Rainbow Six, but at the moment, because there aren't any updates coming, I mean, in a few days the new operators get released, it just feels stale at the moment. Because you explored many things, but every round is individual though, because of the destroyable environment. Like you can approach the objective in many ways. What is a thing that got me hooked on the game, and I'm really looking forward to the new operators there. Alright, so let's get to multiplayer only games back. Why aren't those games like really popular? I mean, for example, many people haven't heard of Rainbow Six Siege at all. I actually heard of it because I saw Jack Frags doing an alpha gameplay on his channel. Like back in the days when the alpha got released, I was like, what the hell is that? That looks awesome. I've never seen that before. And I actually bought like older Rainbow Six games after I played Siege, just to see the hardcore element of Rainbow Six, like having a anti-terror unit playing, well, not playing, like taking an objective or something, like rescuing a hostage, defusing a bomb, clear out the area of terrorists. It just got me hooked. Like, that's what I'm missing of games today, keeping me playing the game. Like, when you play, for example, all the games, you see you have what you bought. You have what you bought. And you enjoyed it. And the fun doesn't get ruined because they update it like every week. Let's say it like that. Because when you stop playing League, for example, for a while, then you have so much to get up to keep up to. Like, if you miss a patch and suddenly jump back into a game of League after like a year, let's say after a year, because I actually know people who love playing League earlier in the days, and nowadays they just don't want to play anymore because everything changed and everything is different, and they don't want to adapt to that because it's just too much change. Like, people just want to have a casual experience, because that's what games are for, to have fun. But if you just keep changing the fun, where does it stop? And I mean, come on, like, it will not be fun if you just keep changing what is fun. It's like, how do you explain that? If you play football, for example, you have the normal, like, you have normal rules, right? And football doesn't get changed at all in terms of rules or in terms of play style, right? Like, everyone knows how to play football. And for other things, everything stays the same. That's why people love it so much. That's why they keep playing it. And then when you compare it to, like, I mean, it is a computer game, but it is an esports after all. League keeps changing. That's what annoys me the most of it. That it keeps changing, and that so frequently. Because you can't keep up to, and you don't want to keep up to, because you felt comfortable having that and that, like, let's say, patch, and you don't want to adapt. But what keeps people moving to other games? Because I moved on to other games, but the community there isn't that much developed like in other games like League. League is the most played game at the moment. And I think there are better games out there. Just because, first of all, I'm like an OG first person shooter dude. Like, I started playing Call of Duty when it was, I think, Modern Warfare. Back in the days when Modern Warfare 2 got released, I started playing it with a friend on Xbox. It was just amazing. It got me hooked on playing more and more. And nowadays COD isn't that boots on the ground thing anymore. That's why I said people are gonna buy the Legacy Edition just for COD 4, because they want that old feeling back. I think you get my point here. Alright, but what keeps people today from buying other games or playing other games? First of all, I just said it, buying. Like, you have to spend money. And probably a lot of money, especially for multiplayer only games. I mean, I paid 60 euros for Rainbow Six Siege because I pre-ordered it at GameStop. I should have bought it at G2A. G2A, please sponsor me, Kappa. Because it is a lot of money for a game you don't know if you like it. I mean, I saw many gameplays and I also got access to the closed beta back then. And the thing is, what developers have to do more is open betas and free-to-play weekends or free-to-play weeks. Just to show people, hey, we're not afraid to show our game. Just try it for free, and if you like it, why don't you buy it? I mean, you love the experience. Why don't you want to continue it? That's, I think, what keeps people from playing games. For example, I played Overwatch with the other people in the open beta, and I love it. I really love it, and I'm gonna buy that game. That's for sure, because all of my friends are buying it. But the open beta just gave me that confirmation to buy it. Like, hey, here, try the game. If you like it, just keep your opinion and see if you want to buy it. Like, that's what every developer should do. Like, just give a free weekend or free week to try the game, so people are actually willing to spend money on it. Because if you buy a game for 60 euros and in the end you don't like it at all, like, you regret buying it, and you probably will regret buying more and more games, and so you will spend less and less games. Money. First slip of the day. That's the problem what I see with games today, that people just don't want to buy games they don't know if they like. That's also the thing why games like League of Legends, Dota 2 and also CSGO are popular games, because League of Legends is free to play, Dota 2 is free to play, CSGO is really cheap to try out. Even if you don't like it, you don't regret spending money on that, because it isn't that much compared to other, for example, AAA games. And also the optimization on those games is really good. Like, you can run League of Legends on a really bad PC on a constant frame rate. I saw a video once where I don't know if you know him, Tech Yes City. He bought a junk PC for $5 and he got League of Legends running on the lowest settings on 720p though, for on average 60 FPS. A $5 junk PC. That should tell. And also he got like an old GPU, which a graphics card, for $10. So in total $15 he could play League of Legends on the highest settings on 60 FPS. Like, that's ridiculous. The optimization on those games, on League, on Dota, on CSGO, is just amazing even for older PCs, because not everyone is able to buy a new PC or spend money on a new PC. That's where we get the money thing comes back. And let's take comparison to the Division. Many people bought the Division on every platform, on console and on PC. Like, I bought it on PC and I'm getting 30 to 60 FPS on medium-low settings on my 750 GTX, like, which is not that much. But the entry specs for the Division are just so ridiculous, because you need at least a 660 GTX to have the minimum requirements. I mean, come on, not everyone has the money to get a good PC. That's why people don't want to. First of all, they don't want to spend money because they don't know if they like it, and then they don't know if the game will run smoothly on their platforms. That's why there are so many console users out there, just because the console can handle every game you buy for it. Doesn't matter how old it is, it can handle every game. That's why there are many console players out there. But I switched to PC gaming a while ago. Actually, League of Legends was the game what got me into PC gaming and wanted to keep on playing on my PC. And also got, well, League of Legends not really, but I wanted to have a better PC because my old PC is like really old, from like I think 2007. It had DDR2 RAM in it, and I have DDR4 RAM in my new computer right now, which is just like if you saw my setup video, you saw that I have a laptop which I used for like over a year, actually like 1.5 years, for recording, playing League, and like playing other games, also Rainbow Six Siege. But the thing was, the specs aren't that good, although I spent a lot of money on my laptop. Like, I couldn't play The Division at all. I could play Rainbow Six on 30 to 40 FPS on lowest of lowest setting. So that brought me to upgrade my PC in total, like save money and upgrade it, just because I want to play newer games and I don't want to stick like on one game. Otherwise I would have stayed like with my laptop and play League all day, but just because I don't like League at all at the moment, I just moved to other games. And the thing with multiplayer only games also is what, like, you don't want to spend money, you don't know if you like it, and you don't know for how long it will last. Because you have to think, that is the mindset of one person, and then other persons will have the same mindset, like, I don't know if I will like it and I don't want to spend that much money on it. So less people will play the game just because of that thing, and so less and less people play the game. There is no solid community and it will eventually die out. That's the thing of like AAA games, let's say it like that, because most AAA games don't have like a solid community. Well, Call of Duty and Battlefield probably, just because they are so successful in like the past. But like a newer game will probably not be that successful. Hashtag evolve, hashtag Titanfall. Everyone liked Titanfall at the beginning, but today no one is playing it. Just because it got stale. Because there weren't any more updates for it, and so less and less people played it, and less people wanted to play it because the queue times were just too long and you could play other games instead of it. Alright. That's probably about it. About the rant, gaming rant, what I wanted to say. The thing, what developers should do, either give more free trials for the game so people can decide if they want to buy it or not, and probably lower the price, because 60 euros or $60 is a lot of money to compare it. You can, but also free to play isn't the way to go, in my opinion. I played Paladins and I also played Overwatch. Those two games, let's face it, they are pretty much the same. But Overwatch has the smoother gameplay and like more responsive gameplay than Paladins. In Paladins you feel more, I don't know, it doesn't feel good to play Paladins like for a long time, but it feels good to play Overwatch. Because the gameplay of Overwatch is first of all smoother, more fast paced, which it should be for that genre, and like the fun factor is just there, which Paladins doesn't have that much, comparing I don't know what Paladins is doing wrong, to be honest. Like, they are basically the same game, but Overwatch is just more enjoyable in general. So you should, the developer should work on fun factor, should work on the price, should work on availability and marketing, because Blizzard did a good job on marketing Overwatch. That's why everyone, like almost everyone, is interested in it. And not for example, Rainbow Six didn't really have that much marketing, and that's why not many people play it, although I enjoy it at the moment the most next to Overwatch. Alright, thanks for listening to this casual as fuck podcast. I don't know if I will put something in the background, but yeah, if you like it, leave a rating and a comment down below on topics which you want me to talk about, and I'm gonna see you in the next podcast, or I'm gonna talk to you in the next podcast. Alright, thank you for listening, and I'm out. Peace.